Magic the Gathering March of the Machine is a set of many firsts for this franchise. Among all of the unique surprises for players to enjoy are the ridiculous and sometimes downright comical team-ups we'll see between characters as they fight against Elesh Norn and the new Phyrexian invasion. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Ether Hub. I'm Simon, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Today we continue to explore the interesting story we're going to get in March of the Machine. While the attacks across the multiverse are disturbing, there is some levity for players to enjoy. Namely these team-up cards, pairing unlikely legendary creatures and having them work together to defend their homes. In this video, we'll explore the relationship between a vampire and a dinosaur. And with that sentence alone, who says we can't have fun during a multiversal invasion, right? This is Ghalta and Mavren. Let's break down these character stories and see how they fit into this insane card for March of the Machine. Ghalta is a giant and ancient dinosaur from the plane of Ixalan. The creature is so old that it's earned the distinct Elder title. In truth, no one alive on Ixalan knows of Ghalta or the other elder dinosaurs' true ages, for they were lost to the plane long ago when the Golden City, Orazca, was sunk beneath river, jungle, and stone in a ritual to hide its location forever. Azor, a planeswalker who founded the Azorius on Ravnica, had created the Immortal Sun, a device that could lock planeswalkers on a single plane. He hid it here on Ixalan, as its mortal races began to worship it as a valuable relic. The fight for control over the Immortal Sun is what sunk the Golden City, and what again caused it to resurface. Unbeknownst to those racing to uncover Orazca, they too uncovered aspects of Ixalan's natural magic, the Elder Dinosaurs. Locked within the Golden City, each of these beasts represents a wild form of the land's mana. Ghalta, representing green mana, stands as the ceaseless hunger, the endless urge for nature to consume all around it and grow. Its roar could be heard across all of Ixalan, from the human tribes of the jungles, those of the Sun Empire who worship the dinosaurs, to the vampire lords across the sea. Humans of Ixalan, like the planeswalker Huatli, have practiced shamanism that celebrates the devastating power of these creatures, and now they regularly beseech the strength of Ghalta to defend themselves. But with its power comes its hunger, a bloodlust many mortals cannot control if summoned. When we compare Ghalta's original card from Rivals of Ixalan with its team-up in March of the Machine, we can see that the new card borrows from it its 12/12 stat line as well as trample and 2 green mana in its cost. There's also a common theme of other creatures' power stats mattering. While in its original card, power reduced the mana cost of Ghalta, on Ghalta and Mavren, it helps create a bigger dinosaur token if you choose the Ghalta effect. Mavren Fane is a vampire and high-ranking clergy of the Legion of Dusk. A Hierophant by title, Fane, as well as the other vampires, call the continent of Torazon his home. The Legion of Dusk was founded by their living saint, the immortal Elanda, who gifted her people with vampirism as a means to protect the Immortal Sun, which was originally gifted to her by Azor for protection. The Immortal Sun was eventually stolen from her and carried across the sea to a new world, the jungle continent of Ixalan, which shares the same name as the plane itself. Dark rituals conducted by Elanda gifted her strength and longevity, but forced her to drink the essence of other living beings to survive. She was a vampire. She did this to have the power to take the Immortal Sun back, believing it would grant her people immortality. She shared this gift and formed the Legion of Dusk. Rather than sink into depravity and bloodlust, she based this new civilization on a religious order of strict doctrine. They would only feed on the blood of those deemed dishonorable or guilty of crimes. Mavren was one of Elanda's first conscripts, willingly following her into the night. When the saint left across the sea in search of the Immortal Sun, Mavren waited and kept her tenants until the day he would again search for her and their beloved relic. He would be the one to lead a more diplomatic group of vampires in the race to find Orazca, standing as a more level-headed leader to the bloodthirsty General Vona. As the Golden City revealed itself, Mavren witnessed the object of his people's desires be whisked away by the Planeswalker Tezzeret. But in losing the immortal sun, they gained back their living saint, as Alanda again joined them on Ixalan, revealing that she had stayed in the sunken city acting as the relic's guardian, realizing it was too powerful for any one group to hold. Now free of its temptation, the Legion of Dusk, with Mavren and Alanda, returned to Torrazon to continue their holy but dark rituals. In Mavren's original card, printed in Ixalan, the Vampire Cleric creates a 1/1 vampire token with lifelink, a trait it now lends to Ghalta and Mavren in March of the Machine. While the original card only creates one vampire token, no matter how many creatures you attack with, this effect is buffed as you now get X number of 1/1 vampire tokens with lifelink, where X is your total number of attacking creatures. Out of all of the legendary creatures featured in the Ixalan blocks, I gotta say, Mavren teaming up with an elder dinosaur wasn't one I was expecting. Ixalan was a super interesting world, and the dinos really were a hallmark of that plane. The vampires, while unique in their ideology, were a little less noteworthy story-wise. But still, looking at the lore of these two as laid out in this video, what's my prediction on how these two coupled up in March of the Machine? Obviously, at some point, Mavren had to travel back to the continent of Ixalan from Torrazon because that's where the Elder Dinosaurs were. My prediction? As the Phyrexians attack Ixalan, they attack the Legion of Dusk as well. Maybe some Phyrexians are captured and their theocracy sentences them to bloodletting. Oil seeps into the clergy and spreads through their ranks. I think Alanda would have to fall at some point, maybe even their Queen Meralda as well. With the power vacuum causing chaos among the vampires, Mavren travels back to Ixalan looking for allies, only to find out that the enemy has attacked there as well. Ghalta is no common beast. There's a level of intelligence that exists as this primal force of nature. Still, it will act of its own accord, being just as wild as the green mana that fuels it. How does Mavren tame such a beast? Well, as unconventional as it is, maybe he just yells at Ghalta. Mavren is described as having a voice that rings with power and authority, a sound that shakes nobles and exudes power. With his unbreaking faith and conviction, perhaps he manages to speak to the spirit of Ghalta and convince the dino of the threat their world faces, allowing Mavren to even build an attack caravan upon its back to carry others of the Legion of Dusk in defense of Ixalan. A strange coupling to be sure, but one that could work lore-wise. Kinda. Now, if I were to create a coupling for Ixalan to fight the Phyrexians, I would have to go in a slightly different direction. I know the idea of these is to combine opposite aspects of the world together, but I'll step away from that for a moment just to make a more logical coupling. The Planeswalker Huatli and the Elder Dinosaur Zacama. Huatli is a powerful native of Ixalan who is a natural storyteller as well as dinosaur tamer. She made several companions of these beasts, including Zacama. Yes, this three-headed dinosaur who represents the theological principle of the threefold sun of the Sun Empire. Huatli's empire was tamed and ridden by Huatli into battle. It may not be as fun, but wait, yeah. What am I thinking? Planeswalkers riding a three-headed dinosaur? Yeah, I could live with it. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I wanna thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, consider supporting the channel by leaving it a like, becoming a subscriber, and of course sharing it with your friends. It all goes a long way in helping this channel grow. And until next time, guys, see ya!